different vehicle today. We'll see if this works. So Tulsi Gabbard is going to sue Google for they took down her ads for a couple hours on one of the days that she feels was very important to her campaign. And then just after that, I watched this professor give testimony in front of Congress about how if Google would want to, if they so chose to back a certain candidate, let's say, and this could be the case, if they choose to back the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, but the Democratic Party is the example the guy gave, they could push the get out the vote message to people their algorithms recognize as Democrats because of the way that their searches. Or Facebook could do this. Maybe it was Facebook was the example. You can tell through a Facebook feed like who's going to vote, who's likely to vote Democrat, who's likely to vote Republican. And if they push the get out the vote message to only Democrats coming up to the election, right, that could vastly affect the outcome of the election.
And I want to make sure I understand. You personally supported and voted for Hillary Clinton.
I was a very strong public supporter of Hillary Clinton, yes.
So you're not dismayed that people voted for her, but your testimony is that Google is, through bias in search results, manipulating voters in a way they're not aware of.
On a massive scale, and what I'm saying is that I believe in democracy, I believe in the free and fair election, more than I have any kind of allegiance to a candidate or a party.
What you are testifying to is that a handful of Silicon Valley billionaires and giant corporations are able to spend millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars collectively, massively influencing the results of elections. And there's no accountability. You said, we don't know. We have no way of knowing if Google or Facebook or Twitter sends it to Democrats or Republicans or how they bias it because it's a black box with no transparency or accountability whatsoever. Am I understanding you correctly?
Senator, with respect, I must correct you.
Please.
If Mark Zuckerberg chooses to send out a go vote reminder just to Democrats on Election Day, that doesn't cost him a dime.
The number one financial supporter of the Hillary Clinton campaign in the 2016 election was the parent company of Google, Alphabet, who was our first witness. They were her number one financial donor, and your testimony is, through their deceptive search methods, they moved 2.6 million votes in her direction. I would think anybody, whether or not you favor one candidate or another, should be deeply dismayed about a handful of Silicon Valley billionaires having that much power over our elections to silently and deceptively shift vote outcomes.
Again, with respect, I must correct you. The 2.6 million is a rock bottom minimum. The range is between 2.6 and 10.4 million, depending on how aggressively they used the techniques that I've been studying now for 6.5 years.
Wow, could you say that again, please?
The 2.6 million is a rock bottom minimum. The range is between 2.6 and 10.4 million votes, depending on how aggressive they were in using the techniques that I've been studying, such as the search engine manipulation effect, the search suggestion effect, the answer bot effect, and a number of others. They control these, and no one can counteract them. These are not competitive. These are tools that they have at their disposal exclusively.
If any headline comes out of this hearing, that should be it.
So they were. The testimony was, we should have some. There's no way to audit this. We have no safeguards for this kind of activity. So obviously, you're seeing a lot of news now about how the tech companies can affect our elections and swing it for one side or the other, which again I have an issue with there only being two sides, but it's how it's laid out right now, and many people believe, buy into that split. So if a tech company wants to push their candidates forward, they've got a lot of power to do it, and there's no checks on that at all. And that, we talk about this whole, foreign governments having an influence on our election, how scary that is, and I would agree, we don't want that kind of thing. At the same time, you don't want large international conglomerate companies that are, not answerable to the public to have that kind of effect either. So, what's the solution? Gosh, I wish I knew. I think awareness is certainly part of the solution. I've always said that about just about every problem. You got to face those things. You can't turn a blind eye to them just because they're uncomfortable. And yeah, you might be happy right now that those companies are backing your candidate, but you have to look at the long range. This is the same argument I had about allowing the federal government to centralize power in a single office, like the office of the presidency. If you were happy with it before, you have to recognize how dangerous it is now, right? How do you prevent that? You don't let it happen when it's even your person, it's your guy. Like right now, Trump is using a lot of executive orders to pass a lot of things that makes me so uncomfortable, right? But he's only able to do that because Obama was able to do it, Bush Jr. was able to do it, Clinton, I don't really actually know Clinton's record on executive orders, but I can't imagine it was good. But basically, the point is, it was done all the way back in time, and we never stopped it then, so now it's in the hands of somebody like Trump. And is he wielding it for good or bad? Again, we can have that argument. There are some things he's done that I'd like, and some things I'm nervous about. So there you go. I'm excited to see that that they're taking a look at Google, Facebook, Amazon, Twitter for what's the word? Damn it! I had it in my head. You know what I'm talking about? Antitrust. They're going after him for antitrust violations, which I'm glad about. And most people don't. You may or may not remember that there was a time when there was a single phone company, Ma Bell, and they ran all the phone connections, and that was broken apart. And at the time, people were like, "How can you break apart the phone company? What's going to happen?" Well, what happened was, Ma Bell became AT&T, and Verizon sprung up, and Sprint sprung up, and all these other phone service providers sprung up. So it can be done. It should be done. It has been done, and it was all for the benefit of the consumers, because now you have choices you can go to, and so long as those choices don't collude with each other, competition brings down prices or brings up quality, because they're all competing for the same customer base. It's worked in the past. I feel like it's going to work in the future. So more power to Bing or Yahoo or DuckDuckGo or your choice of search engines. I guess I may have to change my Gmail account, which I've been using forever. That's kind of a little bit frightening, because I've got a lot of... I love Google Docs and Google Gmail. I'm so used to it, and it is really, really good. It's a good product, so maybe I stay with it after they're broken apart. Who knows? Anyways, there's your thought for the day. And we'll see if on the ride home I can't give another one out. Cheers. Oh yeah, I keep on forgetting. Like and subscribe to this channel, and hey, actually, if you're watching and there's not, I know that I'm not getting a whole bunch of hits, but if you're liking, leave a comment. Let me know what other channels you pay attention to, because I'm kind of curious to see what kind of things people are paying attention to. What's this? Oh, Orange is closed today to Washington. Oh, on Saturday and Sunday. Interesting. All right, be good. Whether you're calm, shy, or dapper, Earl's got you covered. Why don't you let yourself get covered in Earl? Visit our Threadless store at the link below.